So I just spent slightly over $10,000 just to find out the answer to this one question, which is ultimately, does it make a difference if the video or the ad is in vertical format or horizontal format? So what I did was I took the same exact video that says the same exact thing, one of it being vertical, one of it being horizontal, sent it to the same funnel to same audiences just so that I can test to see, does it make a difference in conversions? And by the end of this video, if you watch this entire thing, you're gonna be able to discover exactly if it makes a difference, and the answer is gonna surprise you. In fact, the answer, let me just tell you straight up, is for some countries it made a huge difference. And if you want to be able to decrease your cost per sale, your cost per registrant, and ultimately run ads a whole lot more effectively just by understanding what format you should be posting your ads on, be sure to watch this entire video. Today, I want to be able to walk you through this campaign. As you can see here, they're all sending people to the same funnel, and it's recent. It's literally just from last week's stats. And you can see that the ad campaigns here are all just vertical, horizontal, vertical, 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 horizontal to the same funnel, but sending them to different countries so that you would know if it makes a difference. So let's zoom in on this specific campaign right here. And you can see that for this exact campaign, we have spent over about, $13,000 just split testing this to see if it makes a difference. So you can see how we split this up, right? So to put some context to this, we split this up into different countries: Malaysia, Singapore, US and Canada, as well as worldwide, as well as Australia. And you will see that we spent maybe about 1,700 to, about 1,500 to 1,700 per campaign. That adds up to slightly over $10,000. Okay, so the question is, did it make a difference? Now, there's the short answer and the long answer. Okay, the short answer is it made a huge difference. Thank you all very much for watching this video. Okay, but the question is, well, what's the long answer? The long answer is that it depends on the country, because I noticed that some countries it didn't make a difference, while some countries it made a difference by over 20%, even though it was the same video on a different format. So before I go deeper into this, let me give you this one tip right now. And it's basically this. So for this camera right here, okay, so right now if you take a look at this camera, before we go through deep into the numbers, I want to give you this one tip that will make a big difference. So the next time you're shooting a video or an ad, you'll notice that a very typical camera feature is these boxes, these grids that you see over here right now. Okay, so these grids over here that you're seeing, if you want to be able to run both horizontal and vertical, be sure to make sure that when you're recording, the main center frame that you see over here, okay, this is going to be the vertical format, and the entire thing will be the horizontal format. So one thing that we do in order to test is all of our videos now, we all shoot this utilizing a DSLR, so that if we choose to, we can always get the vertical format that works very well on TikTok, as well as Instagram, as well as Facebook, on some devices, because if it's mobile, it takes up the entire screen. Well, for some platforms like YouTube, horizontal might perform a whole lot better. And by the way, if you want to be able to see another split test that we recently did after the iOS 14 update, where we spent also slightly over $10,000 on the same ad, one on Facebook and one on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the channel to be able to see more split tests and results just like this one if you want to be able to run ads a lot more effectively. Okay, so for the purpose and for the context of this split test right now, we want to be able to see, well, what was the difference? Okay, so if I were to go back to my screen once more, here's what I'd like to be able to show you. What we need to do is we need to be able to do an apple-to-apple comparison. Okay, so for example, let's begin with, let's say, the US market. Okay, so for the US market, you'll see here, this is targeting US and Canada. this is vertical, and this is horizontal. So let's take a look at these two campaigns right now, okay? Now, if you take a look at these two campaigns, we have spent about $1,899, $1,899. And if you take a look at this cost per result, you'll see that vertical format, this was $34 to acquire a result, whereas this next one, which is horizontal, you see that it is $46, right? So $34 versus $46. Now that is a 20% difference, even though it's for the same exact ad. Now, if I were to go to the ad over here so that you can see how it looks like, you will see that some of these formats, so let's take a look at, for example, this one should be vertical format. So you'll notice that on a vertical format, it would look like this. So if it appears on Instagram through Instagram stories, now this is when it takes up the entire screen, okay? So you're gonna notice that for some platforms like Instagram, hands down, or even Facebook, right? When it can take up the entire screen, there would be a big difference when it's coming from the vertical format. Now, however, at the same time, you're going to notice that there are some instances where it didn't make much of a difference. So going back to this campaign again, let's take a look at other countries, right? So for other countries over here, so 20% cheaper. So vertical, definitely in the US market for this campaign was the clear winner. Now let's take a look at other countries. So for example, let's move on to the next country, which is Singapore. Take a look at this, okay? So for Singapore over here, you can see that the cost for a result was $41, whereas for this one right here, it was $49. So, like you can see, math is not my strong suit, but it also looked as though vertical is the winner by approximately 20% less in order to acquire a customer. Now, there are some where it made an even bigger difference. Let's take a look at this one, okay, Australia. If you take a look at Australia, vertical and horizontal, vertical cost $94, whereas horizontal cost $49. So horizontal in this case here was half the amount of vertical. So it is very clear that when it comes to vertical's the clear winner. You take a look at Malaysia. Okay, now Malaysia was one of the countries that it didn't make a difference, where they were both pretty much identical. Okay, pretty much the same over here. So what is your takeaway? Okay, the takeaway is this. Ultimately, you want to be able to test. But in order to make it effective and efficient, what you want to be able to do is from this point forth, you want to be able to test. But when you test, don't just shoot your videos on a typical format like a mobile phone. Utilize something like this so you can get both the horizontal and vertical format and start running it so you can see the split test. But you will see a very clear winner, especially depending on the countries that you run to, that vertical, in most cases, post iOS 14 update is going to be the winner. Now, however, that being said, there are some exceptions to this. And the exceptions to this is based on the format and how it appears. So this means that if you are running ads on YouTube, because most people are watching YouTube like this, horizontal, not vertical, then there's a good chance that your ad cost horizontally on YouTube is still going to outperform vertical. And again, if you want to be able to see the split test results of all these latest things that we're doing so that you don't have to be using your own money, but rather you can just learn through the data that we are showing you right now, be sure to subscribe to this channel if this video helped you out. As always, guys, let me know in the comments below what is one of your biggest takeaways from this video. One of the things that we always do is we're selecting 1 to 3 different random comments to win our latest event tickets, prizes, as well as courses worth up to $2,000. So just let me know in the comments below what is your biggest takeaway, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe to this channel for more split test videos just like this one.